that ceiling that you'll never break. That risk they say don't ever take. That feeling that keeps you awake. You can't let it go. No, you can't let it go. That voice keeps screaming in your head.
Different meditation techniques or reasons to meditate.
Because they had toxic back then. They were cleaning the system out during the days of the pharaohs, okay?
Recognize each other's uniqueness at each, because God has a plan for both of you.
And I can have a baby and I can raise a child without you. That's kind of a shot at the male spirit.
Hello. Little delay there. My fault. Me and Diamante pushing buttons at the same time. What's up, sisters and brothers? It is Twyla Jenkins here, the founder and CEO of the I Am That Woman movement, and we are moving today. It's Friday. It's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mark. And Jeff had a birthday just the other day. Happy birthday to everyone who has a birthday in January. Kelly, my best friend from high school. Happy birthday, Kelly Russell. I hope all of you guys are celebrating life. It's a blessing to have another 365 days around the sun. So happy birthday to all the January babies. I'm excited. It's the last Friday of the month. God has been good to us. Do you hear me? God has been good to us. I thank God in every text, every prayer, every phone call, every email, every Facebook message. I just want to say thank you, heartfelt thank you to all of my friends and family who have sent their condolences and cards and well wishes, knowing that my family has been going through quite a bit at the onset of this year. We had an uncle to pass away on a Sunday, and then a dear cousin to pass away on a Monday. So within 24 hours, losing two family members, having a memorial service today, and then a funeral tomorrow. It's not the easiest thing. And I even had to ask myself if I wanted to do today's show, considering how I take funerals and services is not always that well. But this subject matter is so important to me, and I wanted to learn. And let me tell you, when I have an opportunity to connect with a sister who's as bad as the guest that we have today, I'm going to do what I got to do in order to make that connection. My heart is filled with gratitude that she's taken the time to come and pour into us about this very important subject that we have been talking about all month long, and that is our financial wellness. Let me tell you, if your mind is not right, then guess what? Your money is probably not right. And Monique Caradine-Kitchens is going to be talking to us today about how our mind needs to be on our money. I cannot wait to have that conversation. But before that, we have a couple of announcements to make. Well, you all know me. I am Twyla the Connector. I love connecting sisters. I love connecting community. There's nothing like it. And I have an opportunity for you to connect with us at a wonderful event here in Chicago on March the 8th. It's the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater Company coming, yes, live here once again to Chicago. I am an Alvin Ailey ambassador, which allows you to get discount tickets. You can get 25% off tickets when you use the code IATWM for your discount code. You can get 25% off tickets in one section, or you can get 30% off tickets in another section. So you're either going to pay in the $81 or $43, I think it is, depending on which seat you choose. Just go to the auditoriumtheater.org. That's auditoriumtheater.org. Click on individual tickets. You're going to scroll down, put the code in there, IATWM. It will take you to our page, and you will be able to see exactly where our seats are. Select your seats. There's limited availability, so make sure that you go ahead and get those seats. We're going to sell out fast. So March 8th, that is opening night. Come on, see Revelations with us. If you've never seen Alvin Ailey, it's an amazing performance that you do not want to miss. All right. If you have any questions, you can always send it to us drop us a line in Messenger. You can DM us and let me know. DM me on my social media, Instagram or Twyler Jenkins on Facebook. We also have, I don't have the graphic yet because I had an amazing board meeting this week. Thank you, Sharifa Biles and Shanita Muse, both on our board, who helped us to coordinate our Women's History Month champagne brunch. We are going to be back at the View rooftop on March the 19th. Yes, March the 19th. Tickets are going to come on sale very soon. You don't want to miss that. Last year, we had about 100 women come out. We had a good time, and it was just networking, fellowship, good food, good fun, good drinks. It's a good fundraiser for us. We're a nonprofit doing work for African-American executive women, as well as women in domestic violence shelters, helping them live their best life, mind, body, and spirit. All right, that's my announcements for now until the end of the show. Let's get the show rolling. I told y'all I'm excited about today's guest. We have the Overflow Enterprises Queen, Monique Caradine-Kitchens. She has a very clear mission, and we align so well in our mission. And her mission is to help as many women as possible create generational wealth. Y'all understand when I say this is a bad sister? I am here to help you in your financial wellness, and she is here to help you create generational wealth, not just a little bit of money savings. You hear me? Generational wealth, which is biblical. That's what the word tells us to do. So this is a big goal because achieving it requires a complete transformation on how we think, how we behave, and how we feel about our money. On a scale of 1 to 5, how you feeling about your money today? You feeling 1, kind of low, kind of down, kind of out? You feeling 5, on fire? You got it. You know where it's going and you know what it's doing. Where you at? Well, no matter where you are, we're going to talk about it today. Monique's specialty is helping create that transformation using a combination of spiritual, that's my game right there, and practical principles as the foundation of her work. Her passion for this mission came as a result of working in a high visibility career in the media, but never earning what she was worth. Now, how many of you sisters out there can relate to that? That you working, I wrote it on a Post-it note or in my journal this year. I am entirely too talented not to be wealthy yet. There's something wrong with this picture. So Monique gonna help us get it right today, you all. All right. Eventually, she realized that building wealth starts first with your mindset. Without further ado, I'm here to introduce you all to Systenomics CEO, the one and only. Woohoo!
Hey. Hey, Tyler. How are you?
And I'm on 10 today. How are you?
First of all, I'm amazing. I love your energy. And before we go any further, please allow me to add my voice to the chorus of those extending condolences.
Thank you.
Sincere condolences to you and your family.
Thank you.
During this time, I pray for your comfort and your peace. But sis, you are obviously operating in your anointing because your energy is through the roof. Do you hear me? I love it.
Backstage. I was like, you was giving me energy too when I was watching you backstage. I was like, yes.
I love it. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for those condolences. I definitely appreciate it. My family appreciates all the love that we receive. We appreciate you. And, I just had to thank you, Tyree. Hey, Shy. Just had to, I know you're busy. I know you a sister on the move and you are making things happen. So, and we had to reschedule a couple of times for my errors this month with so many things going on at the same time. So when I got you, I was like, I got to keep her. So let me just make this happen. And timing wise, it was perfect. So welcome, Monique. What's up? How you doing?
You listen, this is your year. I don't care what it may look like. For Twyler Jenkins, the connector, This is your year, sis. You are going to experience massive breakthrough in your business, in the work that you're doing, because you're planting good seeds. You know, I see you out here on your grind. You know what I mean? I see your heart in your work. I see your commitment. And, you know, God sees that. God, you're not lost on God. God is looking at you, you his favorite. So be encouraged. You're going to have your breakthrough. In fact, your breakthrough is already on its way. So just keep walking in that.
Thank you. I received that. I believe that. Don't make me start breaking down now. I'm already trying to hold it together over here on the other end. So, but I receive all of that. I appreciate you, sister. I appreciate that prophetic word. Listen, my anointing oil is over here. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to and profess it. I'm affirming it. I know it. I believe it. You know, no matter what, because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And we do have to stay on our grind. But I know I read a little bit about who you are, but you know, and I know you a bad sister, but Mo, tell us a little bit more about, you know, this Sisternomics and who you are and how it all came about.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you for the opportunity. So I am a visionary. I am a passionate coach to women visionaries. I'm the coach's coach. A lot of people who are from Chicago may know me from my work on radio and TV. And I'm just out here in a new season of my life, just absolutely having a blast. Do you hear me? Doing this work that I was born to do, right? I'm coaching, I'm training, I'm speaking, I am, you know, podcasting. Check out the Sisternomics podcast. I'm doing all the things and I'm having a blast.
Yes.
But the one thing people may not know about me, Twyler, is that when I was out there in Chicago, which is where I'm from originally, I was working in TV, radio, and loving the work that I was doing. But the truth is, I just was not getting paid what I felt that I was worth. You know, my paycheck didn't match my work that I was putting in. My brilliance and my bank account, they just wasn't adding up, right? And you know how I was back in VON days. I was on my grind.
Yes.
But something just wasn't added up. So what I did was I decided to create a side hustle, right? So I was doing my radio show and my TV show, but on the side, I was doing media consulting and training for small clients. And lo and behold, my side hustle money started to surpass my job money. And so I was like, okay, so my side hustle making more money. Let me see if I can go in and negotiate a raise with my bosses. And so I went in to do that and was shut down immediately. Not in a negative way. There was no, you know, nothing negative or bad, but it just, the money for a raise for me just wasn't available. So it was in that moment, Twyla, that I decided never again would I allow somebody else to be in control of how much money I make. Never again would I allow myself to be in a position where I'm only getting 2 paychecks a month from a job on the 15th and the 13th. It was in that moment that I realized that there was more out there for me. So I left that meeting with my boss, who I still love, honor, and respect today. No hard feelings whatsoever. But this is just my truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I left out of that meeting and I remember walking outside into the parking lot and I paced the parking lot back and forth. And I was like, something got to give, you know, because I am too brilliant to be broke out here in these streets. You know, I had just had a baby, had a young family. I'm, you know, really getting some street cred out here in the media in Chicago. And I'm like, I know that I'm worthy of more. So I made the decision to just launch out full time into entrepreneurship, right? I planned it out, of course. It took me a couple of months to make that move, but I launched into entrepreneurship, started as an entrepreneur, and I'm just on this upward trajectory. But here's the thing, and this is why we're here today. I noticed that the same like money plateau, I was still hitting it even as an entrepreneur. So those same issues were showing up, even though I was fully in control of the money that I was making. I would get to a certain level and then it would just stop, or I would be on this roller coaster. I wonder how many people in your audience can relate to that. Like,
to
it's
the roller coaster.
Like get stuck at a plateau, right? Or it's like this and like that if you're an entrepreneur.
Ebb and flow. Yes.
Ebb and flow.
Woo.
And so what I did, and this is so important, this is what
Mhm.
started me on this whole journey, because this was way back in 2003, what I'm telling you about. What I did was I was like, let me go inside, because I thought it was because I was a Black girl from Chicago, or I was working at a little small station, or I just didn't know the right people. Maybe that's why I'm not making the right money. But what I came to realize after a lot of research, a lot of study, a lot of discovery, talking to other women, I realized that my challenges that I was having with money had nothing to do with all those external things. My challenges had to do with the story I was telling myself. See, some of you all may have heard me say this. The only thing that is standing between a woman and the income that she desires is the story that she tells herself. So that's what I'm hoping. I think we're going to kind of unpack today the importance of you always working toward elevating your money story. Because if you're, and when I say money story, I mean mindset. Because
Yes.
if your mindset isn't right, and you said this in the intro, then those problems, that money drama that you have, that, rob Peter to pay Paul, all of that stuff will persist unless you work on your money mindset. So that's my story.
That's your story. And I'm going to let you stick to it. And the reason why I'm glad that you stuck to it is because it brought you to this place. It allowed you to come here, that healing journey, that place of going deep within. Something that we don't oftentimes do is get to the why and keep asking the why until we get to the why. And when you found the why, it really wasn't where you was working. It really wasn't what you were giving to your job. It really wasn't even to your clients when you became an entrepreneur. It was something much deeper and much bigger. And that was your mindset. And oftentimes the story that we are telling ourselves is only because that's the story that was told to us, or the story that we witnessed either from our grandparents, our parents, whoever we were raised around, whoever we were raised with. Conversations about money probably wasn't had at the dinner table. We didn't have parents to give us money, to balance money, to say, do you know how to make your money work for you? I was a grown adult, literally, recently, just started having conversations about making sure that my money works for me and understanding what that means. But let's back up. Let's talk about, there are 8 simple steps that every woman can take to get on the path to abundance. And when I got this tip sheet about different topics that we could talk about, of all of them, I said, oh, I want the 8 steps. I want some steps to help us start stepping into our abundance and prosperity.
Yeah.
Someone asked the question, what's your word for this year? So, a lot of people don't do resolutions, but they'll choose a word. My word is abundance.
Oh,
my word is abundance.
Love that
I'm
word.
ready for my abundance. So let's start talking about these 8 steps. If I didn't say it in the intro, I'm going to say it right now. Every person listening to this recording later or now, if it is live, get a pen and paper. This is one of those conversations that you do not want to miss, fall asleep on, or be paying attention, doing something else, and just get pen and paper. Mo is ready to take us into masterclass about our abundance, and I'm gonna let you have it.
Yeah. So if you, Twyla, I know you have my book, and in these 8 steps that I'm going to share today, I pulled them out of the book. I wrote the book and published it in a couple of years ago, but I'm telling you, every time I think, well, do I need to go back and update those steps? Do I need to go back and every time I go back and look at it, I'm like, these are the fundamental steps right here to get us to your word that you use, abundance. Right? And these will help you shift that money mindset. These will help you do all of the things that you desire in your money. And so let me just go ahead and jump into it, okay? So the number one thing that we have to stop doing if we want to take those steps to abundance, the number one thing is we have to stop believing the lies, the rumors and the folk tales about money. The lies, the rumors, and the folk tales. You know those folk tales that you heard from your grandmother and your mother, like Twyla said. What did we hear? One of the things that was a common refrain in my family is, I got to rob Peter to pay Paul. I heard that from everybody. And I'm telling you, I come from a family full of smart people. Like all my uncles, aunts, they were all entrepreneurs, smart as whips. But I always heard, why am I always hearing we got to rob Peter to pay Paul? And it was because that's what they heard growing up. And so that was a rumor. That was a folk tale. That was a lie, because you don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. Everything that we need is within us. We were born, we came equipped with the tools that we need to do what we need to do. So we have to stop believing those lies. And now there's all this talk of a recession and a depression. That may affect some people, but if you operate in the supernatural, if you are a kingdom kid, then that's not going to even impact you.
Yes.
So we have to stop believing those lies and those rumors. And we have to understand, Twyler, that money is flowing freely right now in the world. No matter what you heard out there in the news and in the world, money is flowing freely, but it's flowing freely specifically to 4 people. 4 types of people. You want me to share with you?
Yes.
Those 4 people are?
Yes.
Okay. So money is flowing freely to people who understand it. Okay. And when I say understand, you have to understand that money is flowing freely. Money is constantly available. Money is something that you have to cultivate a relationship with. So when you understand money and how money works, when you go deeper and you dive deep and you begin to understand that you are a gold mine, that if your desire is to make 6 figures, 7 figures, or beyond, it's very, very simple to do. When you understand that money is a very simple thing to create, you will begin to see more of it in your life. When you begin to understand that money is not your source, but God is, suddenly you will start to see more of it in your life. So money is flowing freely to people who have a deep understanding of it. Money is also flowing freely to people who respect it. What do I mean by that? When you respect money, then that means that you are going to treat the money that you currently have respectfully. You are going to handle your money with a level of discipline and respect. That means you're in your wallet. If I were to look in your wallet right now, ladies, and I would love to see if in the chat, if somebody's got some input on this. If I look in your purse and your wallet right now, what will I see? Your purse and your wallet are the spaces and the places where you keep your most valuable prized possessions, right? That's where you keep your money, your credit cards, debit cards, or whatever, checks. What does your wallet look like? Is it filled with old receipts? Is it filled with expired credit cards and all kinds of nonsense, gum wrappers and your kids' toys? What's going on in your purse? You're laughing, Twyla. Tell me why
I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm laughing and learning because I'm always digging in my purse. I think I need to clean it up. Listen, you are here for a reason, okay? I'm learning. I'm laughing
all on your toes.
Got some things to clean up. Jesus, help us. Help the saints, Jesus. I'm here to get my abundance in order.
It's a thing. These things are so fundamental. You know, we take it for granted and we never think that these are the things that impact how we experience money, but they are. And so I am a stickler for what does your wallet look like? If you still carry cash, if you still carry your checkbook, you should have a nice, beautiful wallet, and it should be organized. Your cash should be in denominational order, front facing. I'm a stickler for that because the truth is money can't thrive in a chaotic environment.
Preach, you want more, Monique. Preach. Oh my gosh. My sister said credit cards and coins. Help us, Jesus.
Yes, I'm a stickler for an organized wallet. Money cannot thrive in a chaotic environment. Money cannot thrive in a bank account where, you know, you're not paying attention to what's being auto debited. You don't know what's coming in. You don't know what's going out. Like, we have to create some peace and some order. And that's a part of really respecting your money. Money also is flowing freely, Twyler, to people who are not afraid of it. So that means when it's time to negotiate for a raise, when it's time to raise your fees if you're an entrepreneur, you cannot be too afraid to raise your fees because you think that your clients won't pay you. That's a fear. You cannot be afraid to go into your workplace and negotiate for the raise that you are worthy of because you
Yes.
know how to articulate your value and
Yes.
you understand your worth. So you should be able to go in there and say, I want to negotiate, a raise based on the fact that I've helped increase the bottom line by this amount. So
Yes.
I thank you for a raise of $50,000. I don't know, whatever your number is.
Mhm.
But we can't stop short of certain numbers because if I ask for too much, they're not going to give it to me. No,
Yeah.
no, you can't be afraid of money. And lastly, money is flowing freely to the person that is generous with it.
Mm.
Okay. Generosity is a superpower because, again, it confirms that you understand that money is not your source. God is your source. Money is not your source. God is your source. So you can feel safe to be generous because if you give someone, and of course, I believe in giving with boundaries. Don't give away everything. I mean, you need to have some of your money, but set aside a certain amount. For me, I believe in tithing, sowing, and saving. First and foremost, you tithe. So, if you're a believer, recommit to tithing this year. You want this to be your best year yet? I dare you to recommit to your tithing. I dare you to commit a certain percentage to give, to be
Yes.
generous with, to help people that you love or organizations that you believe in. Set aside another 10% for that. Then you
Yes.
got to set aside a percentage for your savings.
Yes.
So really that's at least 30% minimum. So you're going to be living off of 70% of your income.
Yeah.
Takes discipline and it takes courage to be able to give away 30% before you even see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's who money is flowing freely to. So stop believing the lies and rumors about money and come to really understand money in a deeper way.
That's some meat right there. We are here with meat and potatoes. We not on milk today, y'all. I'm sorry. If y'all was coming for the milk, I'm gonna need the babies to go and take them. I'm here for those who are woke and ready to get it together. Okay. We getting it together today. We eat meat and potatoes. She's stepping on toes and she talking about some of us.
Look here.
But we getting it together. Abundance is our year. 2023 is for me. And I that's another reason why I had to show up today, because it's easy to quit and it's easy to give blame to why I can't. I'm not using those words this year. I'm gonna push through and I'm gonna make sure that I get what I need in order to live my best life. I'm stepping into living my best life. I'm gonna go clean my purse out because you stepped on my toes. I understood some things. You aligned some things with me. I was like, it seems like every time I turn around, I am cleaning out my purse of receipts. That might mean I'm spending too much. Why do I have so many receipts? Why? I got to be giving somebody some money in order to get a receipt. So why is my purse full of receipts? I'm going to tell on myself about something else. Last year, at the beginning of the year, the Spirit spoke and said, as long as you give to me faithfully, you will never run out and I will give to you faithfully.
Ooh, come on now.
Time and on top. And I mean, my sister can be a testament to when the year started, I was on time and on top. As soon as I got it, he got it. I got it, he got it. I got it, he got it. I got a little busy. Wow. And then I slowed down. And when I slowed down, I'll be the first one to tell you he slowed down. Yes. So my slow down started to slow down when I start being consistent in the agreement. By the end of the year, I was like, oh, the covenant reminded me that as long as you put me first, which is the scripture I have right up here to remind me to seek ye first the kingdom of God, Matthew 6:33, right? So this year he said, okay, you came out the gate strong last year, and I think you understood the covenant. So let me see how greater is thy faith. Not only is it 10% on top as soon as you get it, let's go for 20. Let me see where your faith is. Okay. So I'm going to take it away and then I'm going to make you do 20 on top of what you're going to think that you don't have. So I know that my word has to be abundance and increase, because when I double the portion of my faith, his faithfulness is going to double the portion of my anointing. Okay, you can go to number
You
2.
on fire. Let the whole entire church say, I'm about to literally do laps around this room. You keep at it. I'm doing laps around this room.
Woo, girl, I'm telling you, meat and potatoes today. Meat and
Look here.
potatoes.
I don't know about you, but if I was you and I'm watching this, I would share this out right now to at least 5 friends, because Twyla Jenkins is on fire tonight, baby. Woo, I cannot wait to call you on December 31st and see how your year went, because it's about to be lit, okay?
Let me tell you, lit. Abundance is my word. Listen, God ain't even playing with us in this season. I'm gonna let you, this is your show, Mo. I'm gonna shut up in a minute. But God ain't even playing with us in this season. That's why I know he's aligning too much. Right. And so, to your point, even the meetings that I have had in the beginning of this year, and our word on our meditation line is go forth. And at the end of last year, we were talking about listening, right? So we can hear God, but do we listen? And do we stay obedient to what he is saying? And I fell off. I'm gonna listen, I got big girl draws. I fell off. Jesus knows, right? But his faithfulness and his love and his grace and his mercy is what sustained us. And I got through the retreat. And listen, I told him in the board meeting on Wednesday, I said, we don't owe anybody. I said, but we don't owe anybody, right? And I was like, and I know God is going to increase the seed. You talked about giving. I gave for women to be there. I gave when I didn't have to give, but there is no such a thing, because I'm realigning my mindset to what I know that where my source is and who my source is. So I'm not worried about it. We're going to go to number 2, Monique.
Oh my God.
Come on, girl.
Oh my God.
Woo!
You said a couple of things. You said a lot in there, but there's something I cannot just, I got to sit there for a second. And you talked about the seed. Okay. First of all, before I even talk about the seed, my job here, if y'all feel like your toes are being stepped on, that is my job. I came to interrupt the story. That old story, that old experience, that old behavior, those old habits, those old ways of thinking about money, it's my job to say, nope, that's not it. Because those old ideas and that old story does not match the woman that you are today. It doesn't match that direction that you're going in. Like Michelle Obama says, I'm becoming. Okay. So we're going to operate, we're going to make decisions from the place where we want to be, not where we are.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you are speaking with such vigor and such enthusiasm and such, I mean, it's just a courage and a strength that's coming through. You got the spirit of just courage on you. So I bless the Lord for that. So that's the first thing.
Thank you.
Secondly, you talked about a seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned tithing, sowing, and saving. Sowing is when you plant a seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to say to everyone, this is not on my list, but I'm going to go ahead and say this because you need to understand the power of a seed. If you want something to happen, just like if you want to grow some tomatoes in your garden, they ain't going to just grow just because there's some dirt there. You're going to have to plant a seed to get you some tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something, whether it's an abundance of joy, love, peace, compassion, money, you're going to have to plant a seed. So I want us to take a moment, since you brought up the word seed, you brought that word up. It wasn't me. If you want something, like I want fill in the blank, or I desire fill in the blank, whatever that thing is, are you willing to plant a seed? That's my question for you. Are you willing to plant a seed? Because nothing is going to come forth without a seed. Now, money is one of the things that we hold on to the tightest, right? Because we feel like, oh, if I ain't got no money, I ain't gonna be able to pay my bills. I ain't gonna be able to do this. I ain't gonna be able to do that. But in this season, God is calling us to open our hand and release that seed so that he can begin to go to work and cultivate that seed that's in the spiritual realm, in the ground. So I ain't gonna preach. Where my glasses at? Hold on. Let me put my glasses back on. You get me
I'm
off
trying
track.
not to either, Mo. I know. Let's just
You
go
get me
back
off track. Let me go ahead so we don't run out of time. Okay. So where am I? Number 2?
to
This is real simple. This is real quick. Write down your money goal and make it plain. Somewhere in your house, somewhere on your wall, in your bathroom, on the mirror, you should have the amount that you're creating this year or in the next 2 years or in the next.
just be
Thank
clear.
you.
There it
There
is.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the example. Follow your leader. That's her. She's doing the work. Okay. Write it down. If you want that raise, how much is it going to be? What is your salary going to be? You set the timeline. If it's this year, next year, 3 years from now, whatever that looks like for you, write it down and make it plain. The Bible speaks about that. We don't have to go into that. Go to the book of Habakkuk, however you pronounce it, and it's all there. Okay.
Yes.
Number 3, confront your fears about money. If you have fear about money, and fear shows up in different ways, it's not always, the type of fear that if you're in a dangerous situation or, you're watching a scary movie, not that kind of fear, but fear shows up in lack of focus. If you're an entrepreneur, and you're a solopreneur in particular, we got a lot going on, right? We're always doing a lot of things. But sometimes if you are a solopreneur and you are doing all the things in your business and your money is at a plateau, listen, you got to address that because that could be a manifestation of fear. Procrastination, lack of focus, clutter in your environment, all of that's impacting your ability to do your work at the highest level. So that could be a manifestation of fear. I just want you to look around and be aware. Where is fear showing up in my life, in my environment, and the way I eat, the way I care for my body, my physical temple? Fear shows up in many ways. So ask yourself, where's fear showing up? And then confront those fears about money. You have to look at it. And a lot of times this is the part where you need to work with a coach, a counselor, a therapist. Make sure you have that person should be on your team. That mental wellness person should be on your team.
Yes.
You should have a money coach. You should have a financial advisor. Like Twyla said, playtime is over. God ain't playing with us out here. We got work to do. We are women on assignment.
In all areas of our lives. Do you hear me? I told my sister last week, I'm well into my 50s. And I'm just learning that I have to learn how to live life. I spend 2 hours a week on Saturdays with Tina Lifford on my mental and emotional.
Love it.
You are here today to help me get my money together. This ain't the last time we gonna be connected, right? We need money coaches. Who told us that when we were growing up?
Nobody.
How many of our mothers sat down with us and said, okay, baby, this is why you have a spiritual advisor. This is why you have a mental and emotional therapist. We're going to make sure that all issues mentally and emotionally are addressed. There are family traumas and drama. I saw my car get stolen from in front of my house. I never experienced trauma before. I realized that moment traumatized me, right? And so I just had a niece to go through a traumatic situation. She said, I just broke down and started crying at work yesterday. I don't even know why. I said, baby, that's trauma.
Yes.
I said, sometimes we experience things in our life and then we don't know how to address those things, Mo. Just like you were just talking about, fear shows up in so many different ways.
Yes.
And we always were taught to just take it to the Lord and leave it there. Everything ain't just left at the altar. You go and get prayer, but when you go back to your seat, you still need some healing, right? If you didn't get deliverance, you got prayer, but did you get deliverance?
Right.
There is a difference.
That's it.
So we need to make sure that we're confronting, not only confronting these issues, but we also surround ourselves with empowerment ongoing learning.
Yes.
Right? But this is not one conversation. Y'all, Mo is a coach. She is a financial coach. She can help you through these things. This conversation is not going to take you to your $1 million tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
But if you are serious about getting to your $1 million and you want someone to help you get there, she's that woman to help you get there. Okay, we can go to number 4 now. I'm done.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me get to it. Okay, number 4. Oh, stepping on toes again. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
You have to be willing to upgrade your inner circle. Okay, so I'm not going to dwell on it, Twyler. I'm just going to say, if the people in your immediate inner circle are not having affirming conversations about money, wealth, and abundance, then I'm not saying you leave them behind or abandon them. I'm not saying that you malign them. I'm not saying that you push them to the outskirts of your life. I'm just simply saying, consider spending less time with them, especially around those conversations, and more time in circles where the conversation is affirming, where people are talking about, how can I create generational wealth? How can I monetize my genius? How can I create multiple streams of income in my life? What does abundance look like for me? What does it feel like in my body? Are you around people that's having those kinds of conversations? It doesn't have to be a hard conversation. Well, how much debt you got? Or what's your credit score? It doesn't have to be that type of stuff. It just has to be a loving conversation where people are not constantly saying, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. It's not a judgment. Anybody that knows me knows that I coach from a space that is judgment free and filled with love.
Yes.
I've coached from a space that is filled with love for all mankind. But some of these things we just have to have an awareness of in our lives so that we can make the adjustments that we desire. Okay.
Right.
All right. Next one. I don't know if I'm gonna get to all 8 in the time we have, but I'm gonna try it. Number 5. This is good. And this is quick too. Clear out your money clutter. Money clutter shows up in a lot of different ways. And one simple way, since we're just at the time of this live recording, we're just a couple of weeks off of the holidays, is, those gift cards that you got for the holidays. I don't know if you're like me, but I have historically been that person that will hold on to the gift cards for months, years, sometimes. I'll be like, oh, I'm going through my wallet. Oh, I forgot that Auntie such and such gave me that 2 years ago. Unused gift cards are just one example of money clutter. And here's the reason why that's so important to clear that out, Twyler. And I'm going to stick with the gift card example, okay? So if you are not spending your gift cards in a timely manner, you're creating a blockage. You're blocking the flow of what God wants to do to you and through you and for you, right? You create a bottleneck because someone gave you a gift in the form of a card. And you are not using the gift for what it was intended for, which is for you to go spend it and treat yourself to something, right?
That's good.
So energetically, you're blocking it. So it's like, God is like, well, somebody gave you a gift. You ain't even spending on yourself. You ain't treat yourself. They wanted you to do such and such. Well, am I going to give you more?
That's good.
So you want to release and get rid of any money clutter. So here's another example of money clutter. Wherever you keep your bills in your house. I remember in my house, my dad had like a folder where he kept like in the kitchen area, and it was filled with papers and all the bills that had to be paid. That was a little bit of clutter. My dad's real good with money, but come on, Dad. I mean, let's get the spaces organized. That drawer where you keep all your bills. Eliminate the clutter, get things organized, make sure wherever you keep your money, your payables, your receivables, the things that relate to your paperwork about your insurance and your medical documentation and your estate, your will, your trust, all of that work, all that paperwork and those documents should be in an organized fashion. Okay. Let's move on. Any questions? Class? Any questions?
Yeah, any questions, class? It's never too late. Knowledge is power. That is so true. It's never too late. Knowledge is power. Thank you. I love that, Valerie. Don't pray for a harvest where you haven't planted a seed. Isn't that
that's good, Valerie? Yes.
Isn't that good? Don't pray for a harvest where you haven't planted a seed.
I got a goosebump, Valerie. I just got me a goosebump on
Yes,
that one.
yes, yes, yes. All right, let's keep going to number 6. That was good.
Okay, number 6, save.
Mm,
In fact, I typically say save like your life depends on it. Like I really, and that may be a bit extreme, but what I'm trying to say there is create a habit of saving, and not as a way to save yourself to wealth, because you can't save yourself to wealth. That doesn't typically happen.
right.
But when I say save like your life depends on it, I just read an article last night that says 57% of Americans can't even come up with $1,000 if an emergency happens.
Jesus.
Most people can't even come up with $500 if an emergency happens. And that breaks my heart to even think about that. And I've been there. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie. Like, been there, done that, right? But we have to create the habit of saving no matter what. Like you literally, you tithe, then you save. Point blank, period.
Mhm.
Tithe, save automatically. Don't pay a bill, don't pay a note, don't pay, tithe and then save. You choose your percentage on saving, but you got to save, because what savings does is it protects you in the case of an emergency.
That's right.
So you save until you get a certain amount. I typically recommend saving until you have up to a year in living expenses saved, right? So once you got that saved, you got that big bulk of money. You don't want to just sit in a savings account, because then it's losing money. You know, those, we don't get a big interest rate on savings accounts these
Right.
days. So you take that a month after a year's gone by and you haven't had to use it, thank God, because there have been no emergencies. And then you put it someplace else. Talk to your financial advisor about that. I'm not a financial advisor, but if there's some type of retirement fund or some type of, investment account that you can open, do that. But we've got to get to a space where we're saving.
That's right.
Okay.
Follow Cassandra Cummings with Stocks and Stilettos. Listen, the movement is here to give you all resources. If you don't know, ask us. We will give you the resource on what to do next.
And
Today's
Cassandra is
right.
Yes, Cassandra is, I had her on my podcast. She was one of my first guests.
Yes.
She is such a humble person and such a heart-centered person, and she wants to help us. So definitely I would recommend that as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
She was a speaker at last year's wellness retreat. So she's amazing.
She's amazing. And she's got a new book out, I heard too. So you got it.
Only because I just came back from the retreat. Your book is downstairs, but yes, Cassandra Cummings, Finances. Yes.
That's beautiful. Yes.
Building wealth. So to your point, save, get that year's worth of living up.
Yes.
Pray that you don't have an emergency. Yeah. Although God just reminded me that you put that account away for an emergency, right? So sometimes we be asking for things and hello.
Right.
Small emergency, but yet and still the good thing was I had it there to be able to go to.
Yeah.
Right. And
exactly.
so I wasn't, see, I don't
you weren't being frivolous.
I don't have false belief anymore, so I don't even have it in my head. I wasn't robbing Peter to pay Paul. I had to think about it. So I had been robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I had the savings. And even, sometimes we can get a little lackadaisical when things get a little hard.
Yeah.
That will be the first thing that we do. We either won't tithe or we won't save. That is not what we should do. You can probably find money someplace else. How about you work from home instead of, take less gas or eat from home, stop Grubhubbing or catch a ride instead of, calling Uber or Lyft. There are other ways to save. So
exactly. Yeah. And it's, we got to get to a point where we make tithing and saving non-negotiable. Like it's just not an option for me not to tithe and save. And in addition to that, because those again are fundamental things, fundamental tactics, I would add to those fundamental tactics that make sure we have the life insurance. I'm still constantly hearing about people who have to pass a hat or people who, have to take on a heavy burden of someone's final expenses because the person who passed didn't have the proper paperwork, insurance, basic life insurance. That's one of the fundamental ways that you can pass on generational wealth.
Yes. Right? Happens in our community all the time. All the time. Unfortunate.
Yeah. And so with the saving, The life insurance, if you own a home, make sure it's in a land trust, because if you pass on, God forbid, you don't want your property going to probate. So we have to do some things like this, some simple, basic things, because we want our children, Twyler, and our nieces and nephews, god babies, whatever you have, our alma mater, we want to make sure that the impact of our life isn't, well, she was just good and
Same.
she died and we had to figure out how to bury it. No, she's doing good work in the world, but then we had to, no, we're not doing that. We're going to pass down a legacy of wealth.
Yes.
Whether it's a big legacy
yes.
or a small legacy. A legacy is a legacy.
Yes,
and there's certain things that we have to do in order to be able to do that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Last two. Number 7, let gratitude become a superpower. Gratitude is one of the most powerful things we can do. I'll share a fast story with you. Just a couple of years ago, my family and I faced an enormous financial crisis. And when I tell you that I'd never experienced a feeling of being shaken to the core like that, because it was like one day we were up here financially and the next day it was like somebody pulled the rug from under us, and it was jarring. It was earth shattering. And Christmas of 2020, I literally was trying to figure out how am I going to get money to buy my son a Christmas gift?
Wow.
How am I going to get money to put together something so we can have us a nice Christmas dinner? I'm just being honest. If this is a safe space, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you know what I did in that moment? I got up early the next day before everybody else got up, 5 a.m. And I stood flat-footed in my living room and I stretched out my hands and I said, God, thank you. Thank you that my family is healthy. My husband is healthy. My son he's a good human being. My parents, God, thank you that we have a roof over our head. Thank you, Lord, that you are faithful and that you didn't bring us this far to leave us. Thank you, God, that we have everything we need. I rebuke the enemy that's trying to tell me that we don't have nothing. Thank you, God, that we're here and we're capable and we're chosen, we're sanctified, and that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. I said thank you when I didn't have nothing. And then guess what happened? Went to the mailbox a day or two later. My sweet, sweet friend unexpectedly sent us a gift card for Walmart. And I'm thinking, oh, this nice little gift card. It didn't say how much it was for or nothing like that. I was like, this $50, at least we can get us a ham. I looked at that gift card. You know how you go online and you look up how much it is? She messed around and sent us a $500 gift card. So I was like, whoa, it hit the jackpot. I could buy the baby some toys. Let me tell you something. And I believe, this is my belief. I believe that the gratitude unlocks something in the supernatural.
Yes.
Yeah, I operate in the supernatural. I don't go by what my eyes see, y'all. I
Come
don't go
on,
by
Mo.
what my eyes see.
Say it again.
No, ma'am. You can't do that. You operate in the supernatural.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm grateful all the time. There's always, and I don't care what it looked like, sis, bro. There's always something for you to be grateful for. And when you can be grateful in the midst of challenge, when you can be grateful in the midst of chaos, when you can be grateful when it look like it ain't gonna be no way to make this happen, and you can stand flat-footed and be grateful, baby. Oh man, can't nothing come against that. No thing. Okay.
Just so you know how much I can relate, the journal that I'm writing in.
The gratitude journal. I love it.
Gratitude journal every day. Jumpstart your day with gratitude every day. Our prayer and meditation line, which I'll talk about, I always do at the end of the show every morning, 5:30 to 6:30 Central Time. It's nothing like starting your day in
Yep.
prayer and meditation. And we take time on Mondays and Fridays to give our praise reports about what God is doing,
Got
what he's
to.
doing. Because, we used to go to church and have praise and testimony service. We took time to
Yes.
express how grateful we were. And now our services don't allow us to do that, but we need
Mhm.
to every day.
Yeah.
As soon as you
Every
open your
single
eyes,
day.
just being grateful, and that
Yes.
truly, especially when you're going through the hard times.
Especially,
And
baby.
you can't
And
look
I tell you, in my coaching practice, I work with incredible people as a coach. And before we start our session, we always say, I pause for a moment and be like, okay, hey, Twyler, what are you grateful for today? What are you celebrating today?
Yeah,
Because gratitude just sets a tone for everything.
it does.
So gratitude is a must. It's a superpower.
I love it.
Excellent. So let's go to the last one.
Number
And number 8 is create your own economy. So I mentioned earlier, Twyler mentioned I host a podcast called Sisternomics. And it's just like any city, the city of Chicago has an economy. That economy is based on tourism. It's based on hospitality. It's based on sports, and all the things make up the economy of Chicago, right? Just like the city of Chicago has an economy, Twyler Jenkins should have her own economy. And that's where she's doing her business. And so she's got that income stream. Then she's got a passive income stream. Then she's got 2 other income streams that are making her money while she's sleeping. So she can go to work. Maybe she decides to take a half a day off. So she's only working 3 hours on a Friday or 3 days a week. But you best believe that even when she is resting, playing, or on vacation,
making money.
she is still making money because she has a Sisternomics strategy. She has a Twyler economy, and all the pieces of her economy are working. They're working at different levels. They're working in different areas. Passive income stream. She's teaching her teachings, her events, all of it. And so my friend Lynn Richardson always says, and I heard her say this the other day, and it just was like, that's it. She said, having one stream of income is hazardous to your wealth. Having one stream of income, Lynn Richardson says, is hazardous to your wealth. I say it less eloquently. If you only got one income stream, you are doing yourself and your economy a disservice. Because everybody on this line right now, everybody watching live or on the replay, each and every one of you is a gold mine. And I guarantee if I talk to you for 5 minutes, I can come up with at least 3 ways that you can create 3 separate income streams.
Yes, ma'am.
I know how to do that, Twyler. I don't play
Yes,
no games
ma'am.
out here with y'all.
Not
So,
today.
create your own economy. Make sure you have passive streams of income. And do things that you love. Do things that you love so that you can make money while you sleep. And those are my 8 ways. They all come from my book, Twyler. You got this in your library.
I do.
It is a small pocket-sized book, y'all. Look, you can read this on one day and the weekend. You sit down, it's cold, snowing outside, or maybe it's raining, you don't want to go out. Pick it up. It's right there. All those 8 strategies, they are right here in the book. So thank you for letting me share.
Amazing book. And for those who don't have it, Monique, how do they get it? How do you get your book?
Oh, great. It's at my website, overflownow.com. Go to resources and you'll see a copy of the book there. Overflow Now, brand new website. So check it out. Tell me what y'all think.
Yeah.
Overflownow.com. And I'm excited for you all to get it in your hands. Simple, basic steps that anybody can do. And you will definitely get on the path to abundance with those steps.
Y'all, let's give it up for Coach Mo, the money sower today. She has been on fire.
Yes.
Yes. Diamante can't wait for us to get those sounds. We upgrading our system here, so we just met and we're gonna be doing some things. We're gonna hear some applause and some cheers and all that stuff. Thank you, Shy. Y'all drop it in the chat. Little fire bombs, little applause. Because we got 8 nuggets, we got 8 tips, we got 8 next level, we got 8. What you gonna do now? We got 8 meat and potatoes. You name it, we got it today. There was no lack in the living today. Okay, abundance is our word, and Mo gave us all the abundance. You all know how I do. This is about a conversation series. So if you have a question for Mo, just drop it in the chat. I am so grateful. My heart is filled. I got to go find my book, but if I don't, I'm going to order another one to support you.
Thank
And
you.
I got these tips written down in my gratitude journal. I'm going to go clean out my purse as soon as this is done. Tip number 1. Because that really stuck with me. I hadn't heard it like that before, about how we respect money, right? And so I'm one of those people about, okay, so I learned that. I'm just gonna give y'all a review until y'all drop some questions in the chat. Some things that I learned today about how I respect money, what my purse look like, what does my money look like, is it organized? Now I'm good with organizing my bills because I run multiple companies, so I'm good with that organization. Yeah. But my money, right? So, and then that tip number 2 about those gift cards. I am so good about I don't even know where they are sometimes. And that I never related that to how I'm respecting money and how I'm blocking the flow of increase coming through. I'm that sister that got gift cards from probably 8 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
You know how we get these little coupons when we go to Walmart or
Walmart?
Yes. You get $5 off the next order. Yeah, I never, and I'll go back the next day. I will always forget. So I'm going to start respecting my coupons. I'm going to start respecting my money, and I'm going to start respecting my wallet and clean it out. What's an example of money making while you sleep? Sure.
That's a great question. How do I say her name, Twyler?
Shiree.
Great question. So one example of making money while you sleep, I showed you my book, right? So this book is available. It's actually on a couple of different websites, and people can go to my website and order this book anytime, 24 hours a day. That's just one example. So if there's a book inside of you, Shiree, it's time for you to get that book out of your body and into the world. Did I prophesy?
Ooh!
Did I prophesy?
Ooh!
Shiree, let me hear you in the chat. Did I prophesy over you?
Prophesy. She got a book in her. You better get your coach, Shiree.
He probably got 2 or 3 books in her, but I ain't gonna pick on her like that. So the book is just one example, Shiree, of how you can make money while you sleep. I don't know how many of you are teachers in your heart. Like Twyler is a teacher. She's a natural born teacher. Twyler is eventually, I hope and pray, going to get some courses out there in the world so that she can put that course up on the online course platform, and bam, she making money while she sleeps. There are so many different ways. If you are a real estate investor and you own property, or you have short-term rentals available for Airbnb, that's money coming in while you are off doing your other job or doing your other business or on vacation. It's a game changer when you can wake up after you've been asleep for 7 hours and you hear that cha-ching, cha-ching. I love to get that cha-ching on my phone. We got our setting, me and my husband, we got our settings so that whenever somebody buys something, cha-ching, hey babe, what they buy from you? Like, and we over here having dinner somewhere. So it's really, really exciting. You should never, when we're operating in the overflow, when we're operating in the supernatural, you're not working your fingers to the bone. I've been working since I was 14. I thought you had to work your butt off in order to do well in life. Yeah. But that's one of the lies that we've been told. So let's get to a space where we can say, I'm only working on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if I choose to work that much. And the rest of the time, I'm going to be out here having me some fun.
Yes, love it. You love it. And Shiree, I know you received that prophetic word. You have a book in you called I Am That Woman. Write that book, write it. All right. Terry has a question. What's a good number of streams of income to have? What's a good number of streams of income to have?
Another great question. Okay, so I'll tell you this. You can have however many you desire, but most millionaires have between 5 and 7 streams of income. On the lower end, most millionaires have between 5 and 7 streams of income. And most of those income streams are passive, which means they're not actually working. They're just getting the money coming in. So through investments, through again, book sales, through product sales, merch. Like I got, my Sisternomic sweatshirt on. So this isn't available yet, but eventually I'm going to have a whole line of swag. So things like that, that's on a lower end. But as you grow in business and in wisdom, and in terms of what the gold mine is inside of you, you will have the wisdom as to how many income streams you can and should have.
I love that. What's the gold mine inside of you? Because it's all,
Yeah.
it's in us. We already
Yeah.
have it in us. It's not even something that we have to look for. We got to shift some of those belief systems about our value. To your point, far too long I kept my hourly rate the same. What rate stays the same, especially in today's market?
I did the
It
same
ain't
thing.
higher.
Yeah.
You can't go to the grocery store and
Mhm.
spend the same amount of money hardly on any product that we use now that we did 10 years ago. But yet I've been in business 20 years and I just increased my pricing. And I was wondering why I was working so hard, because I wasn't increasing my value, but my knowledge was increasing, right?
Yes.
What I was
Yes.
giving to my clients, my expertise, I was taking educational classes. So what I was giving, my experience, the level of work I was giving was more, but no one told me and talked to me about that means that your value is increasing.
And that's why conversations like this are so important, Twyla. So again, I applaud you for creating this space. And I have to be honest with you, I had the same struggle, because as a coach and working with women who have incredible brilliance inside of them, but maybe have never worked with a coach before, sometimes if you say a certain amount for the investment to come into my coaching program, those same women might be like, I can't do that. And so for that reason, because I could identify and see the woman that I wanted to work with. And I'm like, oh, if I could just get her in my ecosystem, in my world, I can transform everything about what her vision is and help her get that thing to life.
Yeah.
But I was afraid to make my prices too high, because I did not want her to say no, because I wanted to help her. Right. And so this is important for me and for you and for the other entrepreneurs and solopreneurs out there. I applaud you for raising your fees. I've raised my fees too, substantially. You and I, we're in the same age bracket.
Yeah.
We came in the game, like you and I came into awareness of each other around the time when I was getting started in my broadcast career. I think you were starting your business around that same time. We've been in the game for a minute. We OGs. Like, we know what we know, what we know, what we know.
Girl.
And we bring all of that wisdom to what we do, right? Okay. And there's value in that.
Yes.
And so the point I want to make is this. This is why we have to understand how money works and how it flows, and that there is no shortage of it, because we have to price our services at a level that's respectable to the wisdom and experience that we have.
Yeah.
And this is key. And people have to understand that when they're investing in you or me, they're not actually investing in me, they're investing in themselves. So when I quote you my price to come into my program, you got to say, ooh, you can't say Monique costs too much. You got to say, hey, well, I'm worth that investment.
Yes.
Right, Valerie, Cherie, all the people, Algian, like, you have to say to yourself, I am worth it. So I'm going to make that investment because I'm investing in myself through working with Twyla or working with Monique.
Yes.
Understand your value, and that when you make an investment into somebody that's going to help you, you're worth that investment. Okay, I'm sorry, I got off on the
No, and that's so good. And be unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Right? Because but that takes another mind shift about our value and who we are.
And here's another example. So when I wanted to work with Lisa Nichols is one of the top coaches out there. Like, you put Tony Robbins, I don't know who else. Lisa Nichols is right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Lisa Nichols, when I got into her mastermind several years ago, right, to come to work with her for a day in the mastermind, not a day, it was like 2 or 3 days. You go, you travel, you work with her for 3 intensive days. That was $7,000.
Yep.
For me, for that amount of time, that was a weighty investment for me. I'm like, ooh, 7,000. It made me uncomfortable, as it should.
Yeah.
Because I'm not investing in Lisa Nichols. I'm investing in Monique Caradine-Kitchens.
Yes.
So
Yes.
am I worth knowing that she's the top of the game, knowing what she can bring to the table, knowing what she's going to pour into me?
Yeah.
Am I worth that? You better believe I'm worth that.
So
I
good.
figured out a way to make the investment, and I did. And
Yeah.
guess what? She's my coach for life. She is never going to get rid of me, because I know that by investing in her program, I'm investing in Monique Caradine.
Yes. And I just did the same thing. I went to one of her first sessions, Speak, Write, and Make Millions.
Ooh.
And it was an investment. And it was right before the retreat. And I had to ask myself, can I take this time right before the retreat? And I said, you know what? I can't afford not to.
That's it.
I can't afford not to. What I learned there in the relationships that I gained while I was there, priceless. Absolutely priceless. So that is so true. All right. Even Algene has a statement. Research has shown that people appreciate, value a service, product, etc., more if they have to work hard to obtain it. And that is the truth.
There's some truth to that. There is some truth to that. Absolutely. If you know that this is going to stretch you a little bit, anything that we do that's really going to create a breakthrough is going to make us uncomfortable.
Yes.
If you've been in your comfort zone and everything you do is just like, ooh, that's comfortable. Ooh, I can do that. Ooh, yeah, I'm good. No, you should be stretching. You should be like, ooh, how am I going to actually meet that goal?
Yes.
Oh, you should have the bubble guts. You should have butterflies and a lump in your throat when you stepping out here doing what God called you to do, because God does not live in comfort zones. God is going to always pull you out and disrupt your story and make you feel uncomfortable, not to scare you, but he's trying to get the glory out your life, and he's not going to get that. Breakthroughs do not happen in comfort zones, sis. They don't. So you're going to be stretched to make an investment. You're going to invest in yourself, and it is going to be uncomfortable. That's exactly where God can do what he came here to do for you.
And leaving one of those, I don't know which number it was. Hold on, I'll find it right, because I wrote it right here. Leaving some of those people who keep you comfortable, right?
Ooh, you got
if you
to.
in a circle of people were you always comfortable, right? Or if you're always the one that's talking the loudest in your circle, you might need to go to another circle. And my pastor, I love Bishop Horace Smith, says it all the time. I am not a pastor that is pastoring you to always be comfortable. If I'm not challenging you in your spiritual walk, if he's not challenging us to bring our faith higher, God is challenging me to sow 20% because I got lackadaisical on the 10%. He said, and I kept my covenant. I kept my promise. You the one who got slack. So now let me see where your faith is. Will you go higher and greater? Like my sister said, don't pray for a harvest into a field where you haven't planted a seed. So God is like, oh, you want them millions? Let me see what you're going to do with these pennies. There's a parable in the story in the Bible that reminds us, okay, I'm going to give you a little. Let me see what you're going to do with a little. Because I'm talking to my millions of viewers, right? The number says 8, but I'm speaking to my millions of viewers.
Come on now.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth today? Okay.
Yes, amen.
And not for me, but for God's glory.
That's it.
Because Monique, what you poured into us today was priceless, right? And so the I Am That Woman movement, this divine mission, is really to give men and women, African-American women in leadership is just my demographic, but we're going to be reaching millions, right?
Amen.
And it's really to help us live our best life with a strong spiritual foundation. Yes. I love in your intro that you literally said in your bio that this transformational goal that you have in helping women to create generational wealth is using a combination of spiritual and practical principles. Don't leave God out of anything. No, when you leave God out, all you're doing is putting your ego in. You're edging God out. That's what ego means. Ego is edging God out. So I'm leaving my ego out of this. This is not about me. This is about God just using me to be the conduit to bring you into the conversation so all of us can heal and learn and grow. And man, let me tell you, I'm sorry, I got off track. I'm tired today.
I'm on fire. Oh, you just got I was not expecting this energy, this love, this fire. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. It's just
It's just that's what it
man.
is. So Jeremiah reminds us it's just like fire. Ah, shut up in my bones. I knew this conversation was gonna be good because the enemy was fighting me on. Oh, ain't you depressed and sad and sorrowful about your family loss? You don't need to do that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
with life comes death, and I am sorrowful. I've cried my tears, but I knew there was something about this because he was fighting me real hard not to
Hey.
show up and not to do it. And anytime you start being determined about something, when you being led by the spirit and not by the flesh, that's when I was like, oh, God got a plan, right?
Ooh,
And
you
so
got me in my seat like this, Tyler.
girl, I'm telling you.
And this is the
Come
thing.
on,
This is the
Aisha.
thing I
Come
want to
on,
say.
how
What
you doing?
you made me think about something, Twyla, is that you want to make sure that you are around people that's like me and Twyla right now.
Tag
We've been
team.
back and forth for weeks, and she been busy, I've been busy. But when we come together, the question is, do you have somebody in a room that you can get on the Zoom or get on the phone with that will, when you feeling some kind of way, they gonna pump you up and you can pump them up and you pour into them and they pour into you. You got to have somebody that can be your cheerleader, that can say, sis, I know you had a hard day, but you got this. Or sis, you did have a hard day. Give yourself permission to rest. Get around you some cheerleaders. Have you at least 3 accountability partners. If you don't have a coach, I'm certifying coaches now. So I'm doing the Overflow Coach Certification Program. So I'm creating other women that's doing this work. But if you don't have a coach, get some accountability partners. Get your sister, get your friend like Twyla does. Join with Twyla. Get on the prayer call in the morning. Can they get on the prayer call?
Absolutely, they can get on the prayer call.
Better get on that prayer
5:30
call.
to 6:30 Central Time. Let me tell you, this is what the movement is all about, Mo.
Tell me.
When I first started, people was like, you need to focus. Like, I don't know, when I get on your show, if you're going to be talking about finances, you talking about mental wellness, you talking about you all over the place. So I thought about it. I was like, yeah, okay, well, I can't listen to nobody. Right? I can't listen on this level. I got to listen on this level, right?
Amen.
And so, but what I learned was it is everything that we need. We need our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, our financial, and our physical wellness to be intact.
Yes.
So now, sometimes Noah was building that ark long before anybody saw a drop of rain.
I know.
Do you understand? So the I Am That Woman movement and retreat was created long before the pandemic. It was in 2018.
Ooh.
So we was talking about wellness. We was talking about, mindfulness. But when that pandemic hit, baby, and now there are more apps out here talking about take a deep breath. We weren't talking about breathing when we
That's right. That's
movement,
right.
Okay. Take a deep breath, right? Now here we're talking about the recession and inflation and our money, and we have more. And what I love about where we are now is our sisters are coming together and understanding that it really does take a sisterhood, that we don't have to be out here alone. And this media maven that has created Black women to throw water and drinks into each other's faces and call each other out, and I don't care how much money we make, it was all about the material. That is not who we are. And we are here to move and shake. Monique and Cassandra Cummings and all of the ladies who are here, we are here working in ministry. We are here working in purpose. We are here working in passion. And so the enemy comes trying to make us, the enemy being entertainment, trying to make us something that we are not. We are here to support each other. We are here to lift each other up. So yes, you can join this movement. Yes, you can be a part of. If you need some spiritual wellness, I got you. You need some financial wellness, we got you. You need some physical wellness, Valerie Tyler had you. You can work out with her 4 days a week. It's not about the money. It is not. It's about the investment in you. So no matter what it is that you need, we are here to be a conduit to that resource. If you need a sister that you don't know, to talk to pray with, to be with, we got you. That's what this movement is
Amen.
all about. It is about
Woo, y'all are, and that's abundance. That's abundance within that. You all have a resource in Twyler who is so committed to your overall well-being.
wellness.
This is what we call 360-degree wealth. Wealth
Yes,
on every level.
every
And
level.
y'all got Twyla here. Y'all better look here. Y'all better value her. Y'all better appreciate her. You better get all your girl. When Twyla has this show, get y'all girls on here. Tell them to get on the line
Y'all better have
because
some
this
watch
woman right
parties.
here, I ain't seen this type of enthusiasm on a Zoom call, StreamYard call in a long time. Like you literally brought me from here up here because I knew I had to match your energy. So I thank you. Thank you so much for this space for me.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you. This has been a hot show today. We just getting started. We are just getting started. And this month was about our financial wellness. Next month is going to be about relationships. Come on, y'all. It's February. It's Black History Month. We're celebrating who we are. But more than anything, we are also talking about our love life. And what in our relationships and our relationships with all things, our relationships with each other. How about that?
Yeah.
How about you check in on your relationship with you before you check
Amen.
in on your relationship with anybody else? So Minister Valerie Roberts, I know we haven't touched bases yet, but we got to do something about our relationships. But this month was all about our financial wellness. And Mo, you could not have ended it any better than to talk about where our mind is and making sure we get our mind right with these 8 points. They have been amazing. Ladies, once again, gentlemen, once again, just drop it in the chat. Thank you to Mo and all that she's poured into us today. We love you. Thank you for your time. It is priceless. This isn't the last time. This isn't the first time y'all seen Mo, and it won't be the last time. We talking about generating some of those streams of revenue. So we're gonna be back, y'all. April is Financial Literacy Month, and we're talking about partnering together to bring you some sessions with her book being our guide about building those economies. Because what's next? Now that you got the 8 steps, what's next? I ain't here to just drop you off and leave you out there on your own.
Exactly.
I am here to tell you what's next. So stay tuned for more empowerment from Mo. And Mo, if anybody wants to connect with you, how do they do that, sister?
Oh, thank you. So overflownow.com, again, is my website. You can also find me on Facebook at Monique Sisternomics. And, I'm on Instagram at Sisternomics. So those are just some of the ways that you can find me.
Awesome. All right. Well, you all know how to find Mo. Find her. She's a coach. She gonna take me from my, I ain't gonna say pennies because I never speak pennies over my account. She gonna take me from my thousands to my millions.
Amen.
All right. So there's power in words. I remember a dear friend, I used to call myself, I'm just out here being an entrepreneur. He was like, don't ever say that word again. You are a millionpreneur. And so from that day forward, I stopped speaking poorness over my life. To your number one point, stop speaking that over your life. I am a millionpreneur. So thank you again, Monique. I appreciate you. I love you, my sister.
I appreciate you. Keep up the great work.
All right, you too. Woo! What a powerful show, y'all. I mean, this is just one of the hottest financial wellness sessions that we had this month. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today because Mo dropped so much on us. I'm telling y'all, I was taking notes in my book. I was writing fast and furious because I know that I have her. Get your journal, get a gratitude journal, get something to help you to keep your mind right? So her number 7 point, have gratitude. Even in the moment of you having nothing, have gratitude because you always have something to be grateful for. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Don't forget, you need your spiritual foundation strengthened Monday through Friday. You can join us for prayer and meditation. It's an hour of power. It's a conference call line. You don't even have to get up and get cute on Zoom. Just dial in. You can roll over in your bed, still be half asleep. Put that number on speed dial 605-313-5104, access code 345235. On Monday mornings, Dr. Portia Lockett, one of our board members, joins us and leads us with our Monday morning manna. She is a praying sister, and we are here to pray for you, lift you up. If you are grieving, if you have experienced loss, if you are fighting depression, if there's illness in your body and you need healing, come on and join us. And so Monday through Friday, you can join us. We are here to help you strengthen that spiritual foundation. All right, that wraps our show today. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Oh, I think I accidentally did that. Sorry, hit the button with my producer. Thank you, Diamante Kimball. You're absolutely amazing. Today was so good. Yes, good food for finances. And next month, we're going into February. That's my birthday month, y'all. Ha ha! There will be one Friday where I will be out in the middle of the ocean somewhere and I will not be tuning in. But every other Friday, we're going to be doing our relationship series. We're going to be talking about love, not only with others, but ourselves. We're going to be talking about relationships. So how are you doing in your relationships, mentally and emotionally, and a few other things. So stay tuned for our sessions on relationships in February. Until then, you all have a very blessed weekend. Please keep my family in your prayers. As you know, we've lost 2 dear family members back to back. We'll be traveling tomorrow, keeping my Aunt Precious in prayer, my cousins, Cheryl and Brenda, and the whole Gray family. Know that we love you and that we are here for you and can't wait to embrace you. Until tomorrow, until next week, I will see you all. Bye-bye. Have a blessed weekend.